You know, they, all right, folks, so, we're all human, so let me just tell you what I have just done. As I'm preparing for this show, and I'm getting ready to record, and I'm, noticing that my green bars aren't working, and I've been talking at that point for about almost 30 minutes, telling you guys about the icons of the F4L, and about various other things, about to shout people out, when I realize my microphone wasn't on. Yeah, I know. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, welcome to the F4L Headquarters podcast. I am your host with the most, the F4L icon, Sean Jazz Stevens, welcoming you to Talking Tuesday from the F4L Headquarters podcast. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you two times. Really, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are now that the technical aspects have been fixed and that I am heard now. So I so rudely interrupted myself. I was talking about the future of the icons of the F4L, our YouTube wrestling show, featuring some of the real-life icons of the world, the real-life Dream Masters and Dream Warriors of the world. As I had previously mentioned on another edition, that coming in 2023, we're going to be having a few some changes to their lineups. The women are going to be getting their own breakout shows on the 9th and the 16th of every single month. So that's right, folks. You get to see us more than once on YouTube, or 3 times as it is right now. So if you guys get out your calendars, I can actually tell you when you can look forward to seeing our stuff. Those days are the following: the 4th, 14th, and the 24th every month. Again, 4th, 14th, and the 24th of every month, you're looking forward to the Dream Masters roster. On the 9th and 16th of every month, you can look forward to the Dream Warriors, which is our women's division, to have their own standout breakout shows. Because women can be just as tough as the men can. Trust me on that. So, that being said, I had mentioned on my Instagram the other day how going forward in 2023, we're going to have some roster changes. Prior to, this year and closing out 2022, I had announced a great deal of people I had hoped to bring to the roster in 2023. And I have to say, we're thrilled to have all these people. We're thrilled to continue having the people we're going to continue having on the show. And we're a little disappointed that some people aren't going to be, but we understand, and it's not for everyone, and I get that. And what I mean by it's not for everyone, I mean it's because either a lack of interest or they did not follow the basic criteria. Now, I want to point out, one of the thing I had mentioned on social media the other day, on Instagram to be exact, which, by the way, is the F4L icon, SEANJAZZSTEVENS1 on Instagram. I had mentioned that to be considered to be part of our roster or part of our tournament, you have to at least be following me. And it's not because I want to be Mr. Popular, and it's not because I don't, I'm trying to discriminate people or anything like that. It's because ultimately, if I'm going to be building you and telling the world how awesome you are, but yet after I'm done building you and have you on our shows and you can't see me showing the world how awesome you are, then what good is that going to do you? Because ultimately it's about highlighting and elevating these people who you may or may not know yet. Real life Dream Masters and Dream Warriors. So that being said, that's why I said it is a basic criteria. You must be following me in order to be considered to be part of either the tournament or part of our active roster. And have to also specify going into 2023 this is important now. Some people who are going to be taking part in our tournaments are not necessarily always going to be part of our active roster. We may have people who are visitors who are just taking part in a tournament, and that's it. They're a one-shot deal, unless I hear otherwise. Other people will be actively on our roster, part of our everyday scenarios and our storylines and so forth that we do have currently. So what I'm going to do right now, since it's Talking Tuesday, is I'm going to kind of read off the list of the first few people who are guaranteed to be part of our roster in 2023. These are names that will be part of our everyday, every show kind of a scenario where these people will have heavy parts and so forth. And I'm reading off and breaking it into two categories: the Dream Masters, which is our male roster, and the Dream Warriors, which is our females. So, that being said, I'm going to now read off the list of guaranteed people you will see in 2023 on a regular basis. In no particular order, by the way. Jaden Brooks, Walker Campbell, or I should say Camp Rocker, Walker Campbell, Lucas Royalty, Sean Jazz Stevens, The Gentleman, Riley Simmons, Speedy Easton McDonald, Henry El Nero Mena, Hyro the Pitbull Mena, the Mena boys coming back in 2023, of course, and they are our current Dream Masters Extreme Television Tag Team Champions. The Prodigy, Jackson R. Scott, Ivan the Dolphin Shark, Grayson the Super Duck Russell. Number 13, of course, would be no one better than Yesenia Verkovitz, our soccer wrestling superstar. Jack and Tim, the Lucky Ones, Noah the Nightmare Tyndall, JoJo Sebastian, returning in 2023, as well as JoJo the Bodybuilder, and Philip Ricardo Jr., the Legends. Aiden and Connor Sharp, a new addition, the Sharp Family Singers, making their debuts. High diver Tom Daly makes his debut in 2023. Christopher and Christian Convery, the Convery Cousins, also known as the Convery Chess Club, returns in 2023. Minty Comedic Arts, Batical Datical Derek, and Baticalatical Connor, also known as the Baticals, from TikTok. Sean Awesome, and of course all of his Awesome One groups, that consisting of Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Blood Brothers, Damian Payne and Philip Awesome, as well as Stan the Man Lee, as well as KD Smooth, who's the leader of the Smooth Operators. I don't know who yet he's going to have consisting with, but he has threatened to bring them all, as well as Anthony the Hunter, Mason the Hammer, Ty the Devil, and Troy the Terror. Adele, the Adele Boys will be returning in 2023 to continue on their legacy as the alpha species of their roster. Let's see, Rowdy Mike Lewis will be returning. He's a newer character. You guys will get used to him. Chad White will be making his return. Of course, he's the husband of Angry Karen Brown and the father of the entitled Becky Day. Also, Cosplay Jesus and Father Evil, known better as The Ministry, will be returning. Brock and Boston from YouTube will be returning in 2023. Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J, the Insane Clown Posse, will be returning to the roster to add some element to our tag team division. Topher Russell will be returning from TikTok to challenge and so forth. Herbert Finkel will be continuing to see if maybe he can find that special formula to defeating everyone, because as of right now, it has not worked as of yet. Mike and Tristan of OK Thank You return, as well as Big Baby Jeebus and David Hagen Jr., the Hagen Boys. So they'll be returning in 2023. So that is our first round of people who will be joining us for the Dream Masters this year. And yes, we do have an open forum, and we are going to be bringing other people throughout the year. And whoever wins the Open MMA tournament, if they're not actively on our roster, they may end up a spot on our roster, or maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. Same thing goes for our tag team, open tag team division as well. That's part of the winnings of doing so. Now that we know who the Dream Masters are, let's find out who the Dream Warriors are for our women's division. So for the women, you can look forward to seeing the return of Angela Russell, mother of the Super Duck, by the way. Laura Lavera, who is looking to strike havoc and so forth. DJC and Diana Stevens, representing the Squared Circle Cafe. Luscious Lillian Stevens, Summer Payne, the Duchess, Miss Lana King, who is going on now 3 years undefeated since joining our roster. And for those people who have asked, just want to let you guys know, people have asked, when is she going to be in action? And I can tell you that on the 24th of this month, the last show of this month, we will see the Duchess in action, as she has issued an open challenge. Who's going to take her up on it, and can they be the one to find out how to defeat her? Have to wait to find out. Also, Sarah Gilbert joining the roster again, continuing on her legacy. In addition to that will be the entitled, as I said, Becky Day and Angry Karen Brown. Yes, they are the meme family, ladies and gentlemen. Bethy Page Dunn of the Page Turners. Danielle Harris and Scout Compton, the Queens of Horror, or the Talk Scary to Me podcast, will be returning to action. Kung Pao Rina, and making her return to the roster after a year off, Princess Catherine will be returning to action, as well as Queen Lisa Jenkins and Italian Stallion, Sheila Broflowski from South Park, Colorado, Vanessa, and Victoria Beckham, along with Baby Spice and Sporty Spice, the Spice Girls, will be returning in 2023 as of right now. There'll be many more, I'm sure, throughout the course of the year, and it's going to be exciting. Again, you can look forward to seeing the women in action on the 9th and 16th of every single month. And the men, or the Dream Masters in this case, you'll see on the 4th, 14th, and the 24th of every month. And for our big shows, which are our big celebratory shows, much like the first show of the year, which is coming up in April for our anniversary, which will ultimately probably be our comeback show once we go from dark to back to showing everything out. That will be our epic Random Palooza 2023. And then, of course, will be taking place at the all-new Jez and Sons Icons of the F4L Hall of Fame Arena, which will be honoring the superstars and the people who helped build us as we honor this year's class, which the arena will be dedicated to. That's where that first show will be taking place. So if you're looking for that, all kinds of other shows in arenas to come as well. So that should be exciting. I should also mention that the upcoming show on the 24th will be taking place at our Monster Mania arena, considering it is our Monster Mania countdown show on the 24th. So you can look forward to seeing a mix of both Dream Masters and Dream Warriors. And again, I can't stress this enough, if you don't see, from the 14th on, you will probably not see, you won't see a lot of the content, you won't see a lot of the matches, because I'll be busy remodeling and redoing everyone on the roster. So don't get panicked if you don't see our stuff on YouTube. We will be back, and it was just after everything is re-added and rebuilt. So making it even more epic than it is now. So there's that. So, so and then going forward, when it comes to our Dream Masters Open MMA tournament, which won't happen until June, you do still have time to get involved. And I can't stress this enough. If you want to be considered to be part of a roster, it's important you follow me, because if I don't follow you and you don't follow me, you can't see the updates and see when you're having a match on YouTube. ultimately was for. It's more for your convenience than it is for mine. So there you go. And also that should be said, if you're currently on a roster and you're not following me or not engaged, I do have to stress that I can and I probably will give that opportunity to someone who is wanting that role. Because if I see that you're not following me or you're not engaged in the, matches and so forth, the fact that when you're on, we promote this. We let people know how awesome people are. And if you can't be hearing that, and if this is something that you don't want to be part of, you don't want that publicity that's free, then I'm just going to remove you and give it to someone who will be respectful of that and will like that spot. I'm not trying to be mean, I'm being respectful and honest with you guys. I've given a lot of slack to people during the course of this show, where I've allowed people to either be on the show and have overlooked things, or I have, outright just fired people. I have no problem removing someone from our roster. And people who are no longer on our show, it's kind of evident that they're not on our show. And it's not for everyone. I get that. So there's plenty of people out there who do appreciate it, who are respectful of it and love to see it. So we look forward to bringing those to you guys in 2023 and going beyond. I should also let you know, I'm actively looking for a co-host to run the shows on the YouTube show. If you're interested, you can reach me by email at wowdreammatches, that's DREAMMATCHES, @gmail.com. Reach out to me on Instagram at F4L Icon, SEANJAZZSTEVENS1 on Instagram. If you want to be considered to be part of the everyday runnings of these YouTube shows. And basically what you'll be learning is how to put together a show and also actively be part of the show. You'll have say in what matches go on, who gets on, what title matches are going to happen. And you'll learn how those things work, considering of my time working in the wrestling business. I'm going to tell you guys kind of how we do it on a regular basis. And you'll get that kind of exposure and learn how that works. But also, in addition to that, you'll get to do the commentary, which will also help you with any kind of vocal skills or training you'd like to get in. So that's something to look at. And for those people who are currently on a roster, I want to let you guys know that I'm finalizing the orders for the designs on the final designs, I should say, for the icons of the S4L t-shirts that everyone will be getting who is part of our active roster. It is important you reach out to me on one of those platforms to tell me where to send your shirts. It's important to have. And then when you get them, make sure you wear them with pride and let you people know that you are an icon of the F4L. So I should also say, in addition to that, this show, the F4L Headquarters podcast, we are also going to have official t-shirts for here as well. And again, those people who have been guests on here in the past, let me know where you are, and I will send you the all-new F4L Headquarters podcast t-shirt. And going forward, anyone who is on our show, we will make sure you get one as well. Because it's always good to know that you visited the F4L Headquarters podcast. So, that being said, can you believe it's only been 20 minutes since I've started this podcast today? It is Talking Tuesday. And today's, a random thing. I just told you a little about icons of the F4L and a little bit of the scheduling change. We're adding 2 shows with the women. And we're also going to be going dark for the entire month of March, pretty much, after the 4th. So the 14th will not be a show, for the record. And we're probably going to have a closeout show on the 4th. So that should be interesting. I may even host, on this new platform, a live watch-along. And I think that would be a lot of fun. I can also let you know that I am working currently with bringing in a few guests who have been on the show before. We'll look forward to coming back to the F4L Headquarters podcast, this whole new platform. And we look forward to bringing them back to you because, they're epic. So we look forward to that. So I think you guys should, batten down and get ready, as things will only get better from here. We're going to be stepping things up a notch and giving you guys more of this stuff and more of these interviews and more relatable, helpful tips and so forth. I do have a lot of projects I'm currently working on, and I do have a lot of things I'm currently in the process of doing. But much like in life, I don't slow down for goals. I just add to them and I achieve them one at a time. I think that goes for anyone else out there. This is a short podcast today because sometimes it's not about quantity, it's about quality. So, everyone, I am the F4L icon, Sean Jazz Stevens, saying, may all your dreams come true in the F4L Headquarters podcast. Peace, everyone.